Welcome to Goldfish on Games, where today we're going to be doing a very sensible, very normal, very mundane review on a great game called Wizkid! Wizkid, the story of Wizball 2, was obviously made by Sensible Software and was released in 1992 for the Atari ST, PC, and also for the Amiga, which is the version I have here. All three got the same amazing box art, with just the label in the corner indicating the different versions. And the string and paper motif is continued round the back as well, so it really does give a very striking design and is absolutely awesome. Inside we get the game on just a couple of floppy disks, but we also get a decent manual which sets out the story. How Wizball, Wizard, and Nifty the cat banished Zark in the original game. And after Wizard spent most of the last game in Wizball, it only seemed fitting that they got married, which resulted in them having a child called Wizkid. And I'm not even going to attempt to work out the mechanics of that one. It also seems that Nifty also got knocked up and had a litter of 8 kittens. But Zark returned and kidnapped all of them bar Wizkid, so it's up to us to save the family. The rest of the manual goes into quite a lot of depth on how to play the game, but thankfully this isn't as needed as many other games, as once you get past the title screen, you get to meet BD Snail, who will teach you the basics of the game. And after raising the flag of Wizland, it's time to get down to business. This game is made up of 4 different gameplay styles. The first is head mode. Here is where you get to put what you've learned from the snail into action. Your goal is to kill all the various creatures that are really just minding their own business. And it's not as if they're that deadly, they'll only hurt you if they touch you. But you need to use all the various bricks and movable items on the screen to attack them. And you'll have to get really quite fancy with your brickwork and manage to take out multiple enemies in a single run. And this becomes increasingly more important as the game goes on, as the number of bricks decreases. And when you do manage to take out multiple creatures in a single attack, they will release a bubble, and these can include a note, which is important to help complete the song, or an upgrade, which includes a red nose, that allows you to bounce bricks on your head and then fire them off, and the teeth, that will allow you to grab a brick in your mouth and drop it when needed. And you get to keep these as long as you complete the screen. And when you do complete a screen, any bubbles that are still flying around will turn into Wizbugs. You can fail a screen by not killing all the creatures, but don't worry too much, as the game will loop around all the screens that you have failed to complete or ones you've not played yet. And there are 2 goals for head mode. Either you complete all the screens, which will result in a kitten showing up, or you can collect all the required notes and play the song, which will result in what the manual calls a golden shower, where money will rain from the sky. At which point you'll be allowed to enter the shop, where you'll get to spend all those golden dollars. The items in the shop range from the expected, like more lives and health, to the unexpected, like a newspaper or a carrot on a stick. Those items are for body mode, which is the second part of the game, where suddenly the nice looking background becomes the level, and you get to walk around it. And it plays more like an adventure game where you have to buy and find items to track down the kitten. And this is where the game goes from a little bit odd to outright acid trip. For example, ring the bell and the door will fall, try to open it and a dog will bark at you. But if you use the paper, he will then sit on the toilet and allow you to enter. And then solve a simple puzzle. And a donkey will show up. If you use the carrot on a stick with the donkey, you'll get launched off, and that poor donkey will be jettisoned just like Yoshi. But that isn't the only set of puzzles in this first level, as you can go down the well, and use a toilet, which will unblock the volcano. And when you need to travel out, well, just use one of the gents, which will obviously flood the area. And allow you to rise up. There are 10 levels all rounds in the game, and all of them are quite odd in their own right. Starting with Sunset Vizarad, the round that sets the tone for everything that follows, with all the toilet humour you could ask for, including the classic of blowing up a condom. And with 3 possible kittens, it's a packed level. That is followed up by Ahoy Whiz Mateys, where you get to have fun on a sunken Viking ship. And after the last level, it might seem a little subdued, but that's because it has to teach you about the importance of coloured glasses. Then we head on to Mount Wizamanjaro, played against an active volcano that we could actually set off in the first round. The manual gives a hint on how to survive the lava, and using those glasses skills can give us an item that will be very useful in the very last level. After that we get to Elementary, My Dear Wizkid, where we find ourselves by the lone tree in the city, but you will get a chance to take to the skies, but also venture into the tree, where we'll find of all things a clown in stocks, who you'll have to trade items with, but be careful what you have when you leave, as it's very important later on. Next up is the Ghost of Wizkid Past, which is set in a graveyard that introduces the bats, both large and small, and these foes will actually home in on you, so you gotta be careful. Thankfully though, on this level we can't die, but that is required if you're going to meet Dracula. Round 6 is Wizkid and the Wiz Ball Mystery. This is where the third game style kicks in and we get to play a shooter. And this is a throwback to the classic Wizball, and is actually really quite fun, and has 2 rounds with a boss at the end of each one. But those of you who don't like flashing screens might have some issues with this level. It does get pretty bad. Round 7 has Wizkid going to the circus, as where else are we going to go after finding a trapped clown earlier on? This is where having those brick throwing skills really comes in handy, and body mode can be tricky if you missed any items from the previous rounds. But you'll always be able to progress, though your progress might not be in the right way. This is followed on by Wizkid meets the Dog Girl. I'm not sure who got photoed for the background, but I'm sure they must have loved that one. And watch as that mouth barks in time with the music, as when you're in body mode you get to jump into it and... well... okay... Round 9, Jailhouse Wiz, is the last of the regular rounds, and with the goal of trying to find the key that will open up the jail. But there is a hidden area in the turtle that will gift us with a lot of gold, but only if we found all the crystals in the previous rounds. And with Nifty St, it's time to get all those kittens you managed to collect and put them to good use, as this boat is not going to row itself. Now it seems there's multiple kittens on each world, but when you collect them, they will warp you to a different level, which is a bit of a problem as the warps only go forward, so if you end up skipping a world, you can't go back to play it to get that kitten. So the whole game ends up being a bit of a puzzle box, as you need to not only work out all the various ways of getting the kittens, you also need to work out which one will take you to the next world. And you need to get all 8 kittens, because they need to man the boat, and if they're not all there, then the boat is slower, and you'll end up getting overtaken by the opposition, and they'll lock the door before you even get a chance to get into the castle. But if you do get it right, you'll end up on the final round and the final game type, which is an asteroids clone. But to get that far, you will have to collect money, as it's very important. And there's actually a few extra ways of getting your Wiz dollars, including a crossword puzzle that's more like Scrabble, where you have to fit the words into the grid, or by buying hidden screens, which normally have extra cash hidden inside them. And there's always the star cheat, and in a game like this, is it really cheating? As we can see, there's quite a lot of content and madness crammed into this game, and if you want to play it, and I think you should, then you're going to have to track down a second-hand copy or look at some of the darker sides of the internet. And until next time, I was the Goldfish, that was Pure Insanity, and this was Goldfish on Games. Thank you for watching my silly video on what is quite a unique game. I do hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, you can help out those kittens with their rowing by liking or subscribing to the channel. You can also help them out by sharing or even checking out some of the other videos you can see on the screen right now.